communication part, okay, from where you will get a comprehension also, you can say, from where you need to solve. Okay, so here is a comprehension that has been provided to you in forms that employ editors. Editor is a link between the author and his publisher. Whenever I will say you a quick way, whenever you are solving a comprehension, how to solve a comprehension in any examination, okay, it is helpful. So first you quickly, like 2 times, like in childhood what we were being told or instructed, then we need to study the thing whole twice first, okay, and then we need to understand, so it becomes easier also if you understand the thing 2 times and then does the thing. Okay, so in firms that employ editors, the editor is a link between the author, and I will do same. If you follow this kind in the exam also, it will be very very helpful. In firms that employ editor, is the editor the link between the author and his publisher, and an author and his editor cannot interact very closely. Quite apart from choosing and editing typescripts, by the time a work is published, its editor will have probably read it rigorously and critically 4 or 5 times. See, the same thing, he will have sat with the author on many occasions and gone over and discussed every detail of it with him. Or if author and editor are located in different cities, the editor will have written several letters to the author full of very specific suggestions, query, solution to various problem and comment regarding design, typography, marketing, etc. If the publisher himself is not his own editor, it will be evident that much in the relationship between an author and his publishing house develops on the skills, tact, creativity and intelligence of the editor. In the process of toiling together on a book, a unique relationship is created between author and editor, and if this works well, it frequently results in very close friendship. Publishing files and gossip are full of correspondence and story that bear testimony to this. Many authors have acknowledged the seminal role of editors in helping their talents flower of the fact, yet firmness with which editors have saved authors from being carried away by verbiage or pomposity. John Moore, the head of a well-known family publishing house, once regaled me with stories of how one of his ancestors had decorously kept a celebrated Victorian author who tended to write needlessly long novels on leash. Sir, said the concerned Moore to the author, your MS is like a diamond. It will glitter, but only when properly cut. With this mixture of tact and sharpness, he was given carte blanche by the author to chop the text and ended up helping him publish a masterpiece that still remains in print. Apparently, the author's letter of thanks to his editor and publisher is still preserved in the Moore files. The editor's involvement with the title and its author does not necessarily end once it is accepted and then prepared for press. He usually coordinates the production and design of the work, reads proofs, suggests jacket design, and when the book is ready, he often sees it through the initial stages of the marketing process, including drawing up review list, briefing, sales rep. During the several months of the gestation of a book, editor and author will have been in regular touch, and when the book appears, the author will usually continue to contact his editor for news about sale and review. He will sometimes bore the editor with suggestion about marketing, bare his heart to the editor when a bad review appears, share his relief when there is a good one, and should he feel that the book is not visible in bookshop, direct his wrath at the editor rather than the marketing staff of the publishing house. The editor thus is not only the author collaborator in the making of a book, but also his partner in celebration and his punching bag when things don't go well. So this is a thing. Now slowly we will read in firms which employ editor. The editor is the link between what author and the publisher, and an author and his editor cannot but interact very closely. Quite apart from choosing and editing typescript, by the time a work is published, the editor will have probably read it rigorously. He will sat with the author on many occasions and gone over and discussed every detail of it. Or if author and editor are located in different city, the editor will have written several letters and comment regarding design. If the publisher himself is not his own editor, it will be evident that much in the relationship between an author and his publishing house. In the process of toiling together on a book, and a unique relationship is created between author and editor, and if this works well, it frequently results in very close friendship. Publishing files and gossip are full of correspondence and story that bear testimony to this. Many authors have acknowledged the seminal role of editor in helping their talent flower of the fact that yet firmness with which editor have saved author from being carried away by verbiage or pomposity. John Moore, the head of a well-known family publishing house, once regaled me with story of how one of his ancestors had decorately kept a celebrated Victorian author who tended to write needlessly long novel. Moore to the author, your MS is like a diamond, he used to tell. With this mixture of tact and sharpness, he was given carte blanche by the author to chop the text and ended up helping him publish a masterpiece. So the editor involvement with the title and its author does not necessarily end once it is accepted and then prepared for press. He usually coordinate the production, read proofs, suggest jacket design and everything. Okay, so from this we can understand this is a story of a editor and John Moody. Okay, in brief, as stated in the given paragraphs. Now see the type of question. Correct the type and shape of the marketing strategy only. Read through the manuscript thoroughly many times. Rarely read the manuscript. Sender interacts with author. What do you think should be the answer of this? Is that correct the type and shape of the marketing strategy only? So what I remember, it should be read through the manuscript thoroughly many times. This part. Why I understand? Because I have read here. You can see here it is mentioned. See here it is the point. 4 or 5 times regularly he will do this thing. Okay. Next question is what? The friendship or otherwise between the editor and the author is established in where? The publishing files and stories which make sounds. See, I have read, so I means if you read like this, you will understand. Well known. Once regale me with story of how is understood, and publishing files and gossip are full correspondence and stories. Okay. Very close friendships. Okay. Then you have the question of where did John Moody narrate in his piece? What he has narrated? Obviously a story of editor helping an author. Okay. Apparently the author tells letter of thanks to his editor and publisher is still preserved in the Moody files. Right. Now the question, the relationship between the author and the editor ends with the final copy for the press, continues beyond publication of books. Obviously just now I told you that it continues with the beyond publication of the book. So this will be the answer. Here it is given. Partner in celebration, the editor does not only the author's collaborating but also is partner. Okay, than marketing rather the editor. Okay, so here continues to contact for news about sales and review and when the book appear. And what does an author usually do when his or her book does not do well in business? What does he do? Does he withdraw from the publishing house, rewrite the book, directs his anger to the editor, looks for new publishing house? Obviously direct his anger to the editor, the author, when the book is not published. The editor is thus, so in this bad review bear share his relief. Okay, and this is the way you should do. Okay, and comprehension is always very easy if you do like that in any examination. Okay, and it comes for various competitive examinations, so you need to understand these sticks because this will help you further.